What's up, YouTube? Woo! Mr. Kane coming at you live from the studio. Here are the questions for the day. Please pause the video now to answer them. This is part 2 of the Life After High School guide. Yep, so let's just jump right into it. Announcements: 2 more weeks until spring break. Grades are up to date. Today, you should be able to, at the end, explain what your options are after you graduate from high school. Here are some questions students asked me, and the answer ticket. Someone asked, when do colleges look at your grade? If you had 1 to 2 Fs, can you still go to UC school, for example, like USC or UC Berkeley? Universities will see your grades when you apply. So if you get an F, you can either retake the class to improve your grade, or if you transfer from Delta or like a community college, they'll care about your community college grades more. Okay, so those are your 2 options. Someone asked, is UC Davis a really good college, or is it like Delta? Many people tell me it's dumb to go to UC Davis since it's like Delta. No, they're wrong. UC Davis is a great school. They actually have one of the best med schools. Also, their acceptance rate is 39%. So sometimes how you can tell if a college is really good is their acceptance rate. That means they're only letting in 39% of the people that apply. So that means more people want to go there than they're letting in, which is a sign that it's a good school. Whereas Delta is a community college, and they'll take almost all students. So it's a little bit different. Okay, someone also asked, is studying abroad a different system from studying in the US? Yes. Studying abroad, it really depends where you go. It's basically means you take classes in a different country. The main difference is that it's usually more expensive to study abroad because you get less financial aid. Okay. Now, we got all the way up to the financial side of college. So you should know the different types of colleges and the pros and cons for each. Now we're going to talk about money and how to pay for college. So remember yesterday I told you, sign up and make an account at the FAFSA.gov website to find out how much money you can get to go to college. The FAFSA will offer you either grants, which are like free money you don't have to pay back. The opposite is loans. The FAFSA will also offer you loans. And I'm going to go over the information you need to know for loans right now. So loans, if you cannot pay for all of the college using FAFSA, scholarships, and for money saved up, you may need a loan. Loans are IOU funds, where you get money right now, but you need to pay back later. And if you don't pay them back, you could have a hard time renting a home or getting a car in the future because you will have a hard time getting loans. I'm going to go over the different types of loans right now. So private loans are from companies that lend you money now, but you have to pay them back later. And you have to pay back more interest, usually with private loans, like Discover, Sallie Mae, and College Ave, because they make money from interest rates. I'll go over that more in a bit. Private student loans tend to have high interest rates based on you or your parents' credit score. Next, FAFSA loans are recommended because federal loans usually have lower interest rates than private loans. There are 2 different types of federal loans. Subsidized, which means you don't accrue interest while you're in school. Unsubsidized means you will be getting more interest while you're in school. Okay. Also note, if you need loans to pay for school, try to limit them to the ones you get on the FAFSA. Okay? And only accept the amount for a loan that you need. Don't bite off more than you can chew when it comes to loans. Okay? It's kind of like a credit card. So many student loans only charge interest on what you borrowed, but note for loans, always avoid compound interest. That's when it becomes very easy for a loan to get out of control. I'm going to do some sample problems. Okay. For my car, I took out a loan for $10,000. and my annual interest rate is 5%. So what that means I have to pay back 5% when I pay back my loan every year. That's what annual means. So let's say if I can pay back the total amount of the loan for my car in 1 year. So to figure out how much money I end up giving back, the original 10,000 plus 5% of 10,000, which is $500. So at the end, even though I pay back the loan off in a year, I'll end up giving them back $10,000 and an additional 500 for the 5%. Here's another example for loans, but for a college student. If I want to go to college, but I'm $3,000 short, so I take out a loan with a 6% annual interest rate. Okay, so let's say I can pay back the 3,000, but it takes me 4 years to do it. But when I'm figuring out how much I actually give them back, you take your original 3,000 plus 6% of that 3,000 times the 4 years it took me to pay back the loan. So at the end of it, I will have paid back $3,000, my original 3,000 plus an additional $720. So that's how these places make money, is because I usually give back more than I borrowed. That's how interest works, and that's why you want to choose the interest rate that's lowest. So the lower the interest rate for a loan, the closer you are to pay back your original amount. Next, scholarships are like awards. They're like grants, but you have to apply for them. And after you get a financial aid, you can use that money for college, for food, for rent, or for anything you need while you're in school. The scholarships are awards given to students, and they can be merit-based or need-based. I'm going to go over the different types right now. If you're curious about what scholarships you can get, make an account at fastweb.com. Fun fact, there are many scholarships that are exclusive for certain ethnicity, income, sports, and activities. Also note, for merit-based scholarships, it's easier to get a merit-based scholarship with a higher GPA. A lot of scholarships will have like cutoffs at 3.0. Okay, next. Merit-based scholarships, these are scholarships that you earn for certain accomplishments. So if you have like a high GPA, or you're an athlete, or if you have high test scores, you can get a merit-based scholarship. They usually don't care about how much money you or your family makes. The opposite is need-based. These are scholarships that are awarded to you based on whether or not you meet certain requirements. Income is the most common requirement, and it's usually first come, first serve. So the earlier you apply for these, the better. And apply for scholarships the year before you're going to go to college. Okay. I have a list of scholarships right here. I put all the links in the slides. So if you go to classwork and like go to the description for Tuesday, the links to the slides are right here. So you don't have to like memorize the links or anything. It's all right here. One of the best scholarships is QuestBridge. This is specific for first generation minorities. It is a full ride for college, which can be up over $200,000 worth. But that's why it's really for the best students in the school, because it is so competitive. Another famous scholarship is the Gates Foundation, funded by Bill Gates, and that one gives you up to $60,000. Less competitive ones are down here, like the Blue and Gold Opportunity for people that go to UC. And I also gave a list for different scholarships here. So this is what I was talking about, like some scholarships are exclusive to certain people. So if you click on this link, it'll load. Okay, and if you scroll down, here it'll have different lists of scholarships exclusive to like African American students or Asian Pacific American students or Hispanic students. And if you want to learn more, click on the link and then scroll down, and then it'll give you the different types of scholarships. You will be a college freshman when you need the scholarship, and it'll tell you how much money you're going to get and when you need to apply by. They'll recycle every year. So you usually apply to scholarships in the fall. Okay. Yep. So those are scholarships. If you are undocumented, note the FAFSA and a lot of other scholarships will require a social security number. So what you should do if you're undocumented is check out this link that I found for undocumented students. This one will give scholarships to students specifically that are undocumented because they don't have access to as many funds for financial aid. Yep. Okay. Next, you can also work while you're in college. Colleges are usually required to have work-study programs. So it's basically earning and learning at the same time. Most of the work-study jobs will be on campus, but you do have to apply for them. And that money can go towards rent or food or tuition. Okay. Next, financial aid works best for students who get a degree in 4 years, which is why it can be good to transfer from Delta to university so you can graduate 2 years earlier than everyone else. Okay. Next, here's what you need to go to university. You'll need an application, which will ask for your name, extracurriculars. Extracurricular means anything you do outside of school. It's like if you play sports, music, any clubs, churches, anything you can think of, that's all extracurriculars, volunteering. And then they'll ask you for a personal statement, which is basically an essay about your life or yourself or your story about what you like to do. And the personal statement is usually like a page long. And sometimes colleges will want a letter of recommendation. So that's what you need to apply. And that is the main thing. Here is a summary. So university, 4 years to get a degree. Community college, 2 universities, 2 to 4 years. Community college is 2 years. Tech school or trade school is 2 years. Work and military are right after high school. Okay? The key takeaway is the choice is yours. I am just here to make the process less scary. My goal as a teacher for you is that you know that you have options and that you can accomplish whatever you want to desire. Whatever option you choose, I just want you to be ready for it. The rest of this lesson will be for you to look through the different possible careers using the slides right here. Yep. So come up with a career that you want to do, and in the notes, write down what classes you should take in high school. So like, for example, my job number 1 was doctor. So I put some information about what you need to be a doctor and what classes you should take in high school if you want to be a doctor. Yep. I also did it for a nurse, an entrepreneur, a lawyer, a software engineer, mechanical engineer, a teacher, a dentist, a graphic designer, a psychologist, physical therapist, and I'm going to continue to add to these slides. If my job or the job you want wasn't on the list, just do some research, okay? So if you want to like look up air trafficker, controller, something like that. Yep, so that's the process for the last one in the notes. When you're all done with the notes, please hit turn in for the Life After High School guide and then take the exit ticket for the day. It is graded. Some of the questions are worth points. Yep, that is the last thing, everyone. Thank you so much for staying with me the whole time. Bye.